Music. A series of sounds organized in time, employing melody, harmony, tempo, etc., usually to convey a mood. That doesn't sound too hard. Creating music can be both thrilling and daunting, but is it really that difficult? Before diving into your production or writing, you have to start out with an idea. But the problem is sometimes finding that initial idea, whether that's a melody or a lyric or harmony, can be pretty tough. Generating fresh new ideas day after day requires a lot of brain power, and sometimes our brains do not want to function correctly. And sometimes you're sitting on your bed underneath your covers and staring at your notes app, just like waiting for the magic to happen, and it never does. And then you come back to it the next day and the magic's still not happening, and so you just scrap the song, and then you try to start a new one, and the same cycle just repeats over and over again. But music is fun, I promise. Making music is very fun. Normally, experimenting with different genres, different sounds can kind of get those creative juices flowing, at least for me. Sometimes sounds in nature, listening to new music, especially, New Music Fridays. I'm always looking, under new music, in my set genre or in different genres that I might want to try. And it really does inspire me to just start writing something that 9 out of 10 times is pretty decent. You can also try starting a song in a new way. So maybe, instead of starting with the verse, you start with the hook, you start with the chorus, you start with the bridge. Maybe you start with a cappella ensemble. It doesn't matter. This type of experimentation can recharge your creative energy and ultimately help you grow as an artist. Let's say you've passed your first challenge and you've gotten rid or fixed your creative block. Well, now you need to learn how to navigate different softwares, plugins, instruments in order to bring those ideas to life. This part usually frustrates a lot of people. I myself still need to look up tutorials for a DAW I've used for years. Depending on your DAW, you could feel overwhelmed by the number of features, tools, how user-friendly it is, and how many third-party plugins you may need to buy to create your desired result. There's also the issue of latency, how much your computer can handle, and learning tricks to get the best quality audio. Navigating your DAW is one thing, but getting the instruments in your DAW to sound the way that you want them to sound with little to no music theory is another. Understanding concepts like chord progressions, scales, and song structures are very essential when trying to build a melodic and compelling composition. Investing time in learning the basics like how to create a chord progression, where and when to add textures, beat making, and the difference between piano chords and guitar chords can help you to amplify your compositions while also lessening the amount of time it takes you to create music. In my humble opinion, I don't think that it's that necessarily. I don't think that it's that necessary to know a lot of music theory or to go to music school in order to make a song. And if you want to get real about it, most songs these days that are trending, that are on the top 100, the top 50 songs that are on the radio are very simple and basic when it comes to composition and productions, and some of the lyrics are very simple as well. So if they can make it, I'm sure that you can make it too if you just learn how to train your ears to know what sounds good and what doesn't without having to get too technical with it. But I do agree that having a little music theory can definitely make it easier and a little less time consuming, where you're not trying to figure out chords as you go, you would already know them. But to me, either way, um, just knowing how to structure a song properly and make it sound good and make it sound like ear candy, um, I feel like you would be set to create a great song, a great catchy song, an emotional song, whatever type of song that you want to create. At the end of the day, it's really about channeling raw emotions into every single line of your music, every single note, every single beat. It has to have a meaning, it has to have a purpose. And if it has a purpose, then your song has purpose. So, to anyone out there wondering if making music is difficult, the short answer is yes. It definitely can be difficult if you are a beginner, if you've never opened up a DAW, if you have never even analyzed the the songs and the music that you listen to and try to maybe replicate it or be like, oh, they have horns here, they have trumpets here, they're using a crash here, they're using a cymbal. If you've never broken down a song like that, then yes, it might be a little difficult for you, but it's definitely not impossible. And most people have all the tools that they need right at their fingertips. It doesn't matter if you're using a phone, an iPad, or a computer. You can make music. There's a lot of free resources and free tools out there for you to create music for free or for cheap. Um, you just got to start and you just got to do it. And that's just how I feel. And in the end, uh if you put your heart and your soul into your music will be loved, your music will be heard, and it will be shared and conveyed in a positive, inspiring, and admiring way. And that's regardless of how it's made.